regardless of all of that, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna go into game number 4 between Philippines versus Indonesia. As now, we do have Philippines starting on to the blue side and Indonesia starting at the red side. Both junglers starting at the top half of the map, and they will end off in the gold lane.
Yeah, I think gold lane priority is going to be pretty good in this game. Philippines does not need to gank EXP lane at all. Diagon should get lane priority against Fumi Echo every day of the week. So if they can focus on unlocking mid and gold lane, they're going to be looking very good in terms of scaling. But Indonesia has high mobility with the Matilda, so we'll see what happens.
And now, right off the bat, look at the... to see that and Angela having priority and really threatening Cine as the Lunox, it's kind of funny.
I mean, that's why I said, right? Lunox really isn't that good in the mid lane. You clear waves all right, but you can't really poke and can't really stand too safely in front either. That's why as a gold laner, she feels a lot more effective.
Honestly, I would really think that the Starlight Pulse would be able to give a decent amount of heal over to the Lunox, but we'll see how that's gonna go as Vivol is gonna be running right in with the Spear of Alpha. Dealt quite a number over to the side of Vivero, but not exactly enough to get killed down the Hilda just yet.
Yeah, this pre-level 4 timing gonna be very important for both teams because this is where Indonesia wants to make things happen, and we can see Vivol roaming around, providing pressure into the EXP lane to make sure that Fumi Echo will be able to assist with this first turtle.
As now Mortis does have quite annoyingness in the middle lane, but Vivian is constantly just roaming around and just constantly ensuring that Cine is gonna have a decent time in lane, because we know of Angela being the first blood queen when it comes down to the protect strings. But unfortunately, right off the cam, we've got a first blood in favor of Cine.
Yeah, Cine able to pick up the Angela. That means no hard guard here. First turtle now being contested. Vivero with the Revitalize in the back line on top of Alpuerto as Vivol jumps in, steals away the turtle with the retreat timing, and now Alpuerto has no more way out. Indonesia taking a decisive victory for the first objective.
Yo, look, at this point in time, both of these two teams, Philippines as well as Indonesia, they're just trading with each other on which game they want to win in the early game, man. Indonesia now having 1,000 goal lead on top of Philippines, and it has technically been a little bit of a trend, whereby you win early game equals to you win the game. But we're only 3 minutes in. I don't want to jump into, jumping the gun just yet, but Indonesia in that previous fight was pretty clean.
Yeah, but Philippines is a team that's actually surprisingly effective more towards the mid to late stages, and this time they have a Ling and a Melissa and a CC, so their scaling is pretty good. Indonesia trying to go in on Vivero, but the Hilda is fast enough that she will avoid the Spear of Alpha.
Actually, now that you mentioned it, I thought that it's very good to note down that with the 3 heroes that can that have pretty good power spike, the entirety of Philippines, they are pretty well balanced, right? You got a late game coming in from Alpuerto, Perez as well. Mid lane you've got Diagon, and then in the early game you got Mortis as well as Vivero. So in all around, you've got damage.
Vivero not going to be able to heal enough with the Revitalize Alpha. He just has so much burst with that true damage. And Indonesia already with 3 kills to 0 in the first 4 minutes.
Oh man, this is reminiscent to game number 2. But the fact that we have Vivero and Mortis in these heroes shouldn't be the case.
Hard guard with CC is also a very powerful combination. That's why you typically see teams that draft Angela go for more than one hero that she can jump on. In this case, it is Ling and CC. Turtle gonna be contested once again. It is a 4v3 by Indonesia. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Alpuerto trying to dive on top of Shell, but not able to get that kill. And Indonesia even takes the turtle away. Now, they're gonna be able to steal the purple buff, and Alpuerto just cannot do anything about it.
Philippines is losing controls of the lanes and losing controls of the jungle. You can see just how much threat Cine has got. Apostines reaching a level 4. Sure, Mortis can bully the heck out of Lunox in the early stages. That is why Vivian has put so much emphasis in the middle lane. But the moment that Cine reaches level 4, immediately that's a dead Angela. And Angela wouldn't even be able to do anything. You can't even do wave clear fast enough in order to help the rest of the team. And if you do want to help the team, you have to sacrifice some of these creeps in lane, because once you hard guard away, that is creeps that will be marching over to your turrets.
I will just straight up say, the win condition for Philippines in this game is to survive the mid game. If they're able to do that, their scaling should carry them through the later stages. But Indonesia will be in complete control starting from now to around like the 12-minute mark. Just because there's so much burst damage, hard guard and benches used on Diagon. Able to reflect some damage onto Vival at least. So this is what I'm talking about. Philippines, they don't need kills. They just need to survive.
Look, I'm not expecting that level of spell vamp coming in from Diagon. I know I can expect quite a bit of heal coming in from the hard waves from the side of Angela, but just going out of the way and just popping the vengeance and healing all the way back up, that is kind of insane.
They're still gonna continue on the pressure here from Indonesia. Even the glorious path, Spirit of Alpha actually missed on Diagon. Curtain Call comes out. Diagon able to spell vamp a lot of the HP back. And Indonesia are not able to find the kills they need, but they're still creating a pretty big lead for themselves by stealing away jungle camps.
Yep, it's all about the jungle camps that have been taken away, especially the purple buff, just so that they can cripple El Puerto even more from this point onwards. And that's the control that we're talking about, right? Here's the problem, when, at least for me, right, I always have a problem when it comes down to that mid lane Angela, plus that jungle Link, because Link is so reliant onto the purple buff. If you put a Angela in the middle lane, of course there are people that manage to deal with this quite easily. You'll lose purple buff a lot.
Hard guard being used on Perez to keep her alive, but there's just too much damage from Indonesia. They are wailing on the Philippines. Double kill already. And now even Amor is being chased down underneath her own tier 2. That's gonna be a killing spree for Cine. And the window of timing for the Philippines is closing.
In theory, Philippines can actually move out of the lane, especially when it comes down to EXP, in order to ensure that their purple buff is untouched. But still, we are talking about a CC. CC has got the defensive mechanism in the early stages, but not necessarily that kill threat against a three-man roam from Indonesia.
Yeah, this is quite a threat indeed. I feel like Indonesia is going to be trying to end this game as soon as possible. They know that Philippines will scale up very well. Oh, beautiful 3-man knockup on the Circling Eagle. Purify used by Vivian. Actually dived very deep to get that kill, so will sacrifice her life. Diagon with the Vengeance able to get out. Not too sure if the hard guard needed to be cancelled, but Indonesia still in the driver's seat.
Yeah, so at least Philippines didn't manage to get a single kill out of that engagement. They're not exactly out for the count just yet, but also not exactly out of the woods yet. So Indonesia, they're gonna have to make full use of the upcoming Lord that will be spawning in 30 seconds. Indonesia has constantly, just look at that, it's constantly been right in the opponent's jungle. Philippines lost control of their jungle, and that's just really hard to watch, especially seeing a Ling on that suffering end.
But it's exactly what should and need to be doing. Barrow in the mid lane, getting chased down, getting kicked on in a bad spot as well. Meg now already. Indonesia in full control, and they need to be. If they don't end this game before like the 15-16 minute mark, Philippines are actually able to bounce back once they have their third or fourth items. Their damage actually becomes quite insane. So Indonesia cannot let up on the gas. They literally have to just keep pushing in until that crystal is broken. Because Philippines, like I've already emphasized multiple times, their goal this game is just to survive. They don't need to do anything more than that.
But the moment that they lose out all of the outer and the inner turret, we will then look out for wave clear. The moment that you are stuck in your base, you want to look out for high ground, number one. Number two, AoE to be able to clear all of these creeps. And unfortunately for the side of Philippines, They don't have anyone at all that have that kind of capability.
Spear of Alpha in, Diagon just melts into a puddle. The Vengeance are literally doing nothing to stop Indonesia, as we are 10 minutes in and every external tower is gone. Lord pushing in mid lane. Philippines has no farm. There is an 8k gold difference. This is going to be a very, very short game unless they can make a huge defense here. Even the Glorious Halfway coming out. Mid inhibitor is gone. Minion waves being cleared up. Vivero stuck in an awkward spot. Monster kill for Cine. Heart guard on all Huerto, but what can she do? Tempest ablaze defensively to clear the Lord. But the damage coming in from Indonesia is too much. The flicker forward from Cine. That's a mistake actually. Shut down from Diagon. The Philippines will just barely survive for now.
I would have believed that was a GG go next kind of situation for the side of Philippines, but they are still defending this pretty effectively. But Chell, that's crazy. Went straight in with the explosive arrows that dealt a crazy amount of damage to the main bodies of Philippines, and now they found the inhibitor in the bottom lane too.
They're going in again. Glorious Pathway comes out. Vivero jumps in, tries to set something up, but she's just gone. And the rest of Philippines can do nothing but stand there and watch as Shell pelts down the crystal. The Heart Guard has come out. Winter Crown finally used on Vival. Could be punished here, but still able to trade for Perez in the end. It is a 2v3 situation, and yet Shell is the one that is actually pressuring the Philippines. Diagon dropping low, one hit away from death, but able to jump back into the base. Shell probably doesn't want to stay here for too much longer. They're out of minions.
Oh,
but they're still gonna work on the crystal.
Almost!
They get punished from the minions, sacrificing their life, and they will go ahead and end things. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to a 2-2 score.
You can see just